The first thing you should be watching out for is who in your organization that doesn't work for IT is already working with data.
I'm here today with Merv Adrian, who's a research VP with Gartner Group, and we're going to be talking about the coming revolution in DBMS systems. I want to start, and I think you have to start with big data.
It's hard to avoid it.
I know, but is it a pile of hype? What does it really mean? I'd like to get your explanation of what big data is and why we care.
Sure. Well, first of all, a third of the people we've surveyed for the last 2 years agree with you. It's just hype. We're not interested. We're not investing. So there's a sizable percentage of people out there who care not at all about this. Nonetheless, Gartner first defined this nearly 10 years ago in a paper written by a colleague of mine named Doug Laney, who talked about volume, variety, and velocity as overwhelming the existing systems for managing data. Now, I live in the US, and we have a state called Texas you may be familiar with, and people down there wear t-shirts that say, down here we just call it data. And we kind of believe that in a few years, maybe sooner than a few years, we'll just go back to calling it data again. It's the new normal, and the new normal is lots of new kinds of data coming in faster than it's ever come in before, in variable rates, sometimes very fast, sometimes it slows down again, in formats that don't conform to the models that we've been using to manage it for the last couple of decades. Everything new is old again, but we have to find new ways to manage this. Otherwise, we are going to be overwhelmed, and we're going to leave a lot of value on the table. So that's the story.
But can you summarize what's going on out there, just some of the key items that are out there?
Sure. The most important thing is that the fundamental assumption that we've had for probably nearly 3 decades now, that everything we had was going to go into one big container, one ring to rule them all, is gone. It's over. We understand that some data doesn't fit comfortably into relational database management systems. We understand that some data doesn't get processed well there, that the languages we've been using are only adequate for some of the problems. And so we need a variety of solutions. The truth is we've already had a variety of solutions for a long time. Walk into any shop that has an enterprise data warehouse and ask them if all the data is in there and wait till they stop laughing. They've got data marts, and they've got content management systems, and they've got key value stores. They've got stuff in Excel that nobody knows about. So it's always been true, but denial is not just a river in Egypt. We didn't allow our architects to believe that that was true, and so everything that wasn't part of the RDBMS was carefully ignored, benevolently accepted, or it was handled by Chuck with the cluster in the closet. So it's a new world that finally is opening its eyes to the fact that there are other possibilities, and sometimes they even make sense.
So, as a CIO, are these on the periphery, or do I really care about them? I mean, what should I be watching out for?
The first thing you should be watching out for is who in your organization that doesn't work for IT is already working with data. And when I said Chuck with the cluster in the closet, I wasn't kidding. People with marketing budgets who don't work with IT, who run as fast as they can in the other direction when they see the DBA coming, those are the people you got to find first. Partly because, A, they desperately need to be reined in because they may be doing things that are exposing you. And my CEO doesn't look good in orange. I don't know about yours. But more importantly, because they actually may know a few things we don't know. They may be using information we haven't understood the value of. They may have uncovered tools and methods that we haven't had time to get to yet. Sometimes embracing them, bringing them in, putting some guardrails carefully around them, and teaching them the value of some of the governance that we have put in place might be the best thing to do. And by the way, we're going to be desperately short of skills for this stuff for the next couple of years. The best place to find it is at home.
So what are the things I should be doing? How can I reach out to these people effectively? We're obviously not doing it well in most places. What have you seen that makes sense?
Mostly it's been management by exception. So I get a lot of calls from Gartner clients who say, I just found out the guys in marketing are using this product. I don't even know what it's called, but I think it's a document database. What do I do now? Well, first answer, of course, is read my research. Second answer is, find out what they're doing, why they're doing it, where they got it from, and let's talk about whether there is a commercially supported version of this. Open source software is wonderful. It is a fertile ground of wonderful innovation. Let 1,000 flowers bloom. But if you're going to put it into production and make decisions based on it or run your business based on it, then find a commercial supplier with whom you can get a contract for support and go have a good time.
So what are the strategic implications of this? I mean, are these just another, and I don't want to say that they're a pile of hype, but these new
okay, you can
DMSs,
say that.
no, but the new DMSs, what are the strategic implications? What's going to be coming out of all of these new systems?
Potentially difficult fragmentation problems, complex alignment issues, challenging synchronization bits that we have to worry about. At the same time, extraordinary new opportunities, the opportunity to give some of the new folks coming in the door tools they're more comfortable with. 10,000 baby boomers a day turn 65. This is a generational shift too. The kids who are coming out of college are not using COBOL. They're not I remember that one. They're not even using relational databases probably. They are using Python, and they're using R, and they're using post-Linux operating environments. We better understand what they're doing. And by the way, they expect a consumerized interface. They'd like to drag and drop. They are not going to start typing attributes into a form. So we have to find a way to engage them, give them tools that are comfortable for them to use. All of those things are going to be enormously disruptive to existing policies. So the first answer to your first question really is prepare for everything to be changed. It's who moved my cheese time.
Okay. So we've got a number of new things on the horizon. You're saying we have to keep up with them. We have to at least understand where they are. So in the next episodes, we're going to take a look at a few of these in a little more detail and talk about some of the implications of some of the specific areas of DBMS technology.
Sounds good.